it's interesting. Most people, when they talk about LED wall, they're talking about what the application is. Viewing distance, they think they have this preconceived notion of what pixel pitches you need. In reality, technology is a big piece of it. Having a protected surface that's designed for your application, for the public usage, that's all important. How much weight it could be, how much heat ventilation and BTU. The reality is, for us, first question we ask as the LED manufacturer, because we've been down the road where we couldn't get sign-offs until we actually discuss it, first question we ask is content. So we have a sports bar. It's actually right across the street from the convention center, the Hilton Orlando. It's a beautiful 20-foot long LED wall, 40-foot long, multiple sports games going on in the background. And I got a phone call from ownership like, wait. We're 2 weeks before the grand opening. What are we doing from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.? And I happen to have a piece of beautiful digital art in the background on my little square display, art display in my home office. He's like, we want that. I said, no. That's designed for a 16:9. That's not for you. He goes, well, call the artist. I don't care where you got it from. Tell them we want that re-rendered in 32:9 and 64:9. And that's just one example of when you're not using it for what you think you're using it for, what you can do. But then there's not just abstract art and not just digital art. There's also what we would call custom branded, curated art that's designed with a brand need, or it could be for the experiential need. So the best way to explain that is when you go into a space, into a lobby, into a reception area, into a building, the question has to be is, what are you trying to create in that space? What's the emotion they want expressed? Where you walk into a beautiful archway, what should it do? So for us, it depends what the experience you're trying to create is. So if you nail the hardware and you nail the design from an architectural perspective, the next question is, what do you want it to look like? So in this instance, we created for Worldwide Technology with one of our AV partners, it was a Coltrane. We put together this custom fish tank where every fish was hand selected by the brand team. Every piece of coral, vegetation, the color, the bluish, greenish color, how it reflects, even how it reflects on the sand was all predetermined during the content creation process over 3 months so that the end user can say, this is what I want. And by the way, as a reference point, it was still half the cost with a fraction of the maintenance issues of a real fish tank. Even to the extent they wanted a little tiny stingray at the bottom there, right? And if you look really, really closely, you can even see the WWT logo tattooed on the stingray. So subliminal marketing built into the content creation is also there. For us, it actually happened by mistake, if I'm being brutally honest. We were 4 or 5 years ago looking at a major university to be a big partner of ours to do a ton of LED walls. They were going away from projection, done with LCD. They wanted no bezels. And we went on site to do a site survey to see what their needs really are. And we quickly realized we saw a huge LED wall from other people that was off. And I asked them, like, what's the deal? That's a huge wall. Why is it off? And he said, donor marketing, AV, IT security, branding. No one could come to terms with what we want to put on the wall. So they have a $500,000 wall that's just off. Now that combined with struggling as a manufacturer, when our pro services team go on site and try to install, they can never get signed off because they don't know what they're putting on it yet. They don't know if it looks like the Coca-Cola red Pantone color, whatever number. It was always a struggle for us. So we realized if we don't own that scope of the content, we're always going to be, we got to come back again and we have to change this. And it happens all the time. So we own the content because we realize it's not just a revenue growth opportunity, it's because no one else was doing it.